welcome to the episode 2. Episode 2, we're going to be going over my mom's cart. This is my mom, Patty. We've got a few things. I had talked about the oil cooler on the last episode, and I've got a couple parts that I'm waiting on for that, so we're going to start on this one next until we get those parts to finish it up. So, in our first video, I showed you a couple quick pictures. This is my son, Dorian, and this is my little stink ball, Breck. They're helping out a lot on these little go-kart projects. So with that being said, I want my mom just to kind of give you a quick background as to, again, what got us into this whole kart endeavor.
Well, what got us into it is this family, because as you already know, we're all recovering from the Campfire. Just hadn't had any joy, and Josh brought his kids over to my house and my husband's house, and they brought their two little hammerheads, and we all experienced joy all day long, running up and down hills with the boys and screaming and laughing. So by the time they left, it was, we got to get some of these. We need some joy in our own house.
It's true.
So we both got some go-karts. And so Josh is going to do some updating on this one. First, we're taking off all this debris that we don't need. We're going to be like taking care of the lines that are loose and hanging, redoing all of the electrical harness, a brand new one in there, getting a new electric box and getting rid of this plastic caca, putting a nice, is it stainless steel?
Yeah, the aluminum cases.
Or aluminum cases for the electric box, and then one for the battery. Getting rid of some of the debris to streamline the weight. New carburetor, of course. And we're gonna get it as quick as we possibly can. And there was one thing that I insisted on.
Yeah, one major rule.
One major.
Because you're a retired principal, and principals love rules.
Yes. I like making rules, but I don't like following them.
Yeah, fair enough.
That works. And the rule is, or the consideration is, the only way that I was going to have this done was if Dorian had his hands in it.
This one right here.
Yeah, I want tools in the boy's hands making this so I could kick his father's 90. And that's.
You think you can do that? You can get some work done on Graham's
Little.
Sabotage it?
Sabotage it? Yep.
Wow.
The apple doesn't fall far.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, should be a lot of fun. We're going to get started on this little bit of it today and get some of that stuff removed.
Yeah.
So you're going to see Dorian at work.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
With all my heart and soul.
It'll be fun.
Hi, I'm Dorian, and I am going to be removing this turn signal with a 17mm wrench and this crescent wrench.
Hi, my name is Breck. While my brother's working on this turn signal, I'm going to be removing this mirror with this 12mm wrench and this Allen wrench.
One thing to get kind of confused with is how to undo a bolt when it's on the bottom instead of the top. Because how do you loosen a bolt? Do you remember? Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, perfect. So if you're looking at the top of the bolt with this, you're going to be turning it left this way from here, correct? But But if it's easier to turn the nut underneath, you just turn it the opposite way. It's upside down, right? So you turn it that way. Go ahead, you do it. Make sure you hold on to that element. Good. Now to get more movement out of it, you want to try to reposition the ramp further back and then make your turn. Okay? And let go. Come all the way over. And make that turn. Good job.
Something my papa forgot to mention was when you're turning a bolt, you want to move it to the left on the top of the bolt, not the bottom. Got it?
Woohoo! I got it.
Now that I got the front turn signals removed, now I'm going to remove the rear turn signals using the same tools.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
I think Dodo dropped some tools.
Ta-da! Got the other one.
One thing I like to make a habit of is before removing the old harness, because we do have a new harness, I always take pictures with my phone as far as where the different plugs come together. They do offer wiring harness diagrams online, but sometimes it's just easier to take pictures of how things came apart to put them back together. Just yeah, right over there. Just a special note. What are you doing?
So I am going to be removing these rear fenders using a crescent wrench and a 12mm wrench.
What happened? Oh, you dropped them? This dirt stinks too. This one right here, Cooper. Here, flip this one around like that. There you go.
So we are going to be removing all of this old wiring harness. So to do so, we have to cut all these zip ties off first.
What's a zip tie?
A zip tie is these
It's like
plastic. I don't.
plastic string. Call it that.
They're like string that like you can zip it on, but you can't really unzip it without. Or I guess you can, but it'd be really hard.
That sounds about right.
We need to remove all these ties that connect the wires to the go-kart using a flathead screwdriver. And then you just pull it out.
How you doing over here?
Awkward.
Awkward? You getting pretty close?
This one.
No, you want to pull it down from the back side. Doing a good job. Having fun.
So we're going to be replacing the throttle cable as well. So we are going to be needing to lift up all the tabs on the passenger side where the throttle cable is using this flathead screwdriver.
Go-kart had a aftermarket slider style throttle assembly. So Dorian's taking the top housing off so that we can remove the cable. Those are 2 Phillips bolts.
It was a little bit of a struggle to get this fender off, but I got it. Yeehaw! The second gear fender is off. All we need to do to take it fully off is to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Yay! After I got all of these rear fenders off, to take off the two-seater cargo net.
So now we're going to be removing the top cage lights and the rear brake lights. I got the top lights removed and the old padding removed.
Kids have gotten all the lights and everything off. There's still a lot of brackets that remain. These are all bird poop welded to the frame. So I'm going to cut all these off with a Sawzall. These are the Milwaukee Torch blades and they work phenomenal. Pretty good day. First day on my mom's go-kart. We got a lot of stuff stripped off. The boys helped out a lot, huh guys?
Yeah.
Did you guys have fun? Yeah? Yeah. So it's always good, obviously, try to involve your family doing stuff like this. And I think just hanging out with these guys and doing this has been a lot of fun, personally. Gets our minds off of all the stupid stuff we have to deal with, huh? Is it
Like
kind of
living in a trailer.
like living in our trailer? How do you guys feel about that? It's kind of fun, huh? We've kind of gotten a different perspective, different outlook on things. Huh? We've been able to play some board games. Did we ever play board games before?
Yeah. Played an endless Monopoly game.
We played an endless Monopoly game. Huh? Did we ever play Monopoly before the fire? No, we didn't play as many board games before the fire, huh? So would you say it kind of slowed us down? Yeah, which isn't a complete bad thing, huh? Yeah, it's been kind of beneficial in some ways, but getting back to my mom's go-kart, as you can tell from earlier when we were talking, she competitive. You guys, what do you think about Graham being competitive? Would you say she's a little competitive or a lot competitive?
A lot.
A lot?
Slow this thing down until it becomes like 35 miles an hour.
We should slow it down. Yeah, just to drive her crazy. I had to tell a quick story. These guys will crack up about it too, and I don't know if they remember or not, but we always have a big Easter party at my mom's house, and she loves to play games out in her arena. She has a big horse arena, and this one year we're playing a game, kickball. She bought this humongous soccer ball. Remember that? That soccer ball was like that tall. Remember that? And what did Graham do during that game? Do you remember? Do you remember when she would like kick the ball or throw it at the kids? She would level them.
Oh yeah. Or run right into them.
She would run and kick that ball, and I don't remember. I think it might have even been Breck. It was somebody little. I mean, shoot, they were like 5, and she'd kick that ball, and
Especially Ezra.
Ezra, she did it to Ezra too, huh? So, anyways, it's just funny. My mom is very competitive, and she's a crack up. So.
Not on purpose though.
Huh?
Not on purpose though.
Not on purpose.
Most of the time it's on purpose.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
She doesn't level kids on purpose. It's just her competitiveness. So, watch that, Goober. So what we have, I wanted to go over the parts that we are putting in on this go-kart. This pile right here is everything we took off today. We took off the old wiring harness. We took off all the old padding. We took off all the lights. This go-kart, in my mom's opinion, is certainly not set up to be going to the grocery store to get groceries. So she doesn't need turn signals and 10 different headlights and taillights. So we got rid of all that. Plastic fender, we're getting rid of everything but the bare essentials. So essentially this pile right here, is horsepower. Maybe not the conventional means, but when you're talking about horsepower to weight ratio, this gives you a substantial advantage. So what we're going to go through on this build project, we have a new nice hammerhead exhaust. It's super high quality. I mean, I was pretty shocked how nice this thing is. Most of these go-kart parts are pretty cheap and expensive, and because they're not high priced, of course they're not top quality, but this is a really nice little exhaust setup. Comes with this head pipe, really nice head pipe. Open up the diameter a little bit. I don't have the two side by side to compare, but I'm pretty certain that's a little bit bigger. We're going to replace the fuel line. We've got a really nice serviceable fuel filter, little billet red aluminum fuel filter. These are the two carburetors. This is a carburetor that came off of the yellow go-kart, but I wanted to show you the comparison. This is the similar carburetor as what was originally on this red one. Somebody had swapped it out, but we're going to put this one on it. So this is a 24 millimeter carburetor. It does not have an accelerator pump. This right here is the accelerator pump. As you can see, this one doesn't have one. The jets on this, when you change the exhaust and intake, upgrade the ignition system, this is going to be a pretty decent carb still if you change the jets. So it's not a bad carburetor for just kind of your mellow application. This one's going to give you a little bit more of an advantage as far as off the line power, because you have that extra shot of fuel when it comes through. So this is a 30 millimeter. It's a CVK. You can see this is an intake manifold side. So you can definitely notice you're going to get some more air volume. More airflow in and out obviously means you can add a little more fuel, which means a little more power. So that's the carburetors we're going to set up. Has an electric choke. Not totally ideal, but it's not a bad setup either. This is a pack of NGK Iridium plugs, which is in conjunction with this new K&M ignition coil CDI combo unit. Has a little adjuster here, which allows you to adjust the timing. Gives you a lot hotter spark, slightly longer duration. Duration meaning how long that spark lasts inside the combustion chamber. So it's definitely a better ignition system. Also eliminates your rev limiter. A lot of these stock CDIs have a limiter on them, mostly for little guys so they don't overdo it. It also helps protect the motor, but we're more concerned about performance. So this will certainly get us a little better on the ignition side. Intake side, I have this Uni 6-inch long, 2-inch diameter air cleaner. This is a great little air filter. With this carburetor, we have the silicone coupler, so that it's about 1 3/4 inlet. We'll use an 1 3/4 to 2-inch coupler. So this is a 2-inch intake system we'll be setting up, probably with a stainless steel pipe. Throttle cable was used on a different carburetor, so I got a stock throttle cable so we can set that back up. Have a brand new wiring harness all still wrapped up, so that'll be installed. And this is basically just a generic aluminum box. This part slides out, and just like on that yellow go-kart, I'm going to set all the electronics of the go-kart inside of this box to get it up and away. Up and away from the engine, away from the heat, away from the moisture, the dirt, so it'll get it nice and contained, and nice upgrade. One thing that I missed is this aluminum intake. This is a larger intake from the original that'll be pulled off of this go-kart. This gives you a little better airflow. So these are just a few of the parts that I'm going to be installing on this go-kart. These guys, they're tired, they're ready to go home, huh? Yeah, we had a long day. But tomorrow, one of the things we'll be doing is we're going to pressure wash this thing, get it all cleaned up, because I don't like working on dirty stuff. Neither do these guys. And we'll start working on getting everything installed. So over the next couple of days, hopefully we'll have most of this stuff ready to go and take it out for a test drive. You guys like test drives?
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you guys think of racing? How about adventures?
Yeah.
Exploring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going over mountains and
Yeah.
jumping.
What was one of the things that you wanted to be when you get older? Do you remember?
NASCAR driver.
NASCAR driver. So what is this going to teach you? A bunch about the mechanics of a vehicle, how everything works, brake system, all that stuff. But it's also going to teach you a lot of driving skills, huh? Which is super beneficial. Plus, you know, as a parent, you've got Dorian's 13. Within 2 days, he's going to be 16, out on his own, driving his own car. And this is a great opportunity for any parent to let their kids really understand the fundamentals of how to control a vehicle like this. So
What about tomorrow?
it's like tomorrow, huh? So I highly recommend it. I grew up playing around with stuff like this, and it helped tremendously. So anyways, thank you guys for joining us today. We'll pick up tomorrow, and we'll see you then.